Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. 1.15 million more AstraZeneca shots arrived at the NAIA Terminal 1 earlier this morning. This is the first batch vaccines out of the 17 million doses procured by the private sector through its tripartite deal with the government and the vaccine manufacturer. To tell us more about this, we have Greg Gregorio joining us live from NAIA Terminal 1. Good afternoon, Greg. How many private companies stand to benefit from this initial batch of vaccines?
Charles, good morning. According to Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship, Secretary Joey Concepcion, close to 500 companies will be benefiting for this arrival of 1.15 million doses of AstraZeneca shots. This is the first batch of AstraZeneca vaccines procured by the private sector through a tripartite deal with AstraZeneca and the national government, which was signed in November, totaling to 17 million doses. Charles?
Greg, this is just the beginning, so when do we expect the next batch of vaccines to arrive?
Charles, according to Secretary Concepcion, another batch with 1.17 million doses of AstraZeneca vaccines are expected to arrive by mid-August, and the rest of the 17 million doses will be completed by the first quarter of next year. Charles?
Greg, with this latest shipment, where do we stand now with the arrival of more AstraZeneca doses? How many vaccines do we have so far?
Charles, according to National Task Force Chief Implementer and Vaccine Czar Carlito Galvez Jr., with this arrival of AstraZeneca shots, we now have received more than 23 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines in the Philippines. Charles?
Greg, so it's AstraZeneca for today, and then do we have any other updates on the other possible vaccine supply shipments that are coming over the next few days?
Charles, later this afternoon, we are also expecting a delivery of more than 1 million doses of Johnson & Johnson's Janssen COVID-19 vaccine, and then another batch of more than 1 million tomorrow. And we are still verifying if there's also a delivery of Sinovac vaccines by this weekend. Charles?
Now that there are more vaccines, Greg, is the government expecting an increase in average daily vaccinations, and when do they expect this to happen?
Yes, Charles, according to Health Secretary Francisco Duque III yesterday, the country has reached more than 390,000 administered jabs in a day. And with this boost in our vaccine supply, Duque said we may be able to achieve a daily average of administered doses of 500,000 by next month. And if that will continue, we may be able to achieve vaccinating 70 million of the population in 130 days. Charles?
Thank you. That was Greg Gregorio reporting live from NAIA Terminal 1. The Health Department is holding catch-up vaccinations to meet childhood immunization targets in the country. In an interview with the chiefs, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres said that COVID-19 has hampered regular vaccinations of Filipino children. The DOH saw an 8 percentage point decrease in fully vaccinated children from 2019 to 2020. That's why the agency is now trying to make up for lost time and get children vaccinated against other diseases.
Pinatunayan naman po ng mga pangyayari nitong nakaraang 5 taon na wala talagang naging pag-angat sa kahit man lamang sa kalagayan sa paggawa ang ating mga manggagawang pangkalusugan. Nahila pa nga sila doon sa krisis na ito. Kaya hindi ho namin nais na magpatuloy ang administrasyon na ganito, na wala talagang sinserong pagmamahal sa taong bayan, walang sinserong pagmamalasakit sa mga manggagawang pangkalusugan.
And for this year, binigyan po uli namin siya ng, sabi ni Dr. Mike Tan, ay F squared or palpak na palpak.
An infectious disease expert says studies on mixing and matching of vaccines are still in the preliminary stages, so whether or not this is effective remains inconclusive. On Radyo 5's Filon and DJ Chacha, Dr. Edsel Salvana said Thailand is already experimenting with vaccine mixing due to the surge in cases and shortage in vaccine supply. Salvana said data from preliminary research shows that mixing vaccines can create antibodies, but he also noted that clinical trials are still needed to prove whether this can actually protect people from COVID-19. As for using booster shots, Salvana stressed that this should remain prohibited, as this could deprive more Filipinos from receiving any vaccine.
Sa ngayon, hindi pa po talaga natin pinapahintutulutan yon dahil napakakapos po ng supply ng ating bakuna. At kung gagawin po natin yon ay we are going to deprive people of their right to get vaccinated dahil sa tingin natin kakailanganin ng booster or pangalawang dose. So, hindi po ako sangayon sa mga ganong ginagawa nila.
Singer and actress Olivia Rodrigo made an appearance at the White House briefing as part of the U.S. government's efforts to convince more young people to get vaccinated against COVID-19. The U.S. CDC previously reported that younger adults are getting vaccinated at a much lower rate than older adults. However, vaccinations are now necessary for younger people than ever before, since the more transmissible Delta variant may cause severe disease, especially among younger people. That's why the Biden administration sought the help of the multi-platinum recording artist to advocate for COVID-19 vaccination.
I am beyond honored and humbled to be here today to help spread the message about the importance of youth vaccination. It's important to have conversations with friends and family members, encouraging all communities to get vaccinated and actually get to a vaccination site, which you can do more easily than ever before, given how many sites we have and how easy it is to find them at vaccines.gov. Thank you all for helping share this important message. It's so appreciated. Thank you.
And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.